Hey everybody, this is Voted21 here, bringing you another knife review, this time of the Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife by Gerber. I just opened the knife probably about 5 or 6 hours ago, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to be acquainted with the knife, but the small amount of things that I have done with the knife, I have to say that the knife does perform overall reasonably well. So, the first part that I'm going to review on the knife would be the sheath, because from what I've heard that is the most controversial part on the knife. Now just give me 1 second, because the knife is kind of hard to get at the sheath one-handed. First thing that we're going to start off on is the sheath itself, which is made of nylon material, which is my preferred material of a sheath to be made out of. I find it's more durable than leather. Leather can rot and decompose, whilst nylon cannot. Up here you see your two loops that wrap around your handle of your knife. They are Velcro. My preferred is the button, like just your little button that you snap together. But where your knife locks in right here, that isn't really that big of a deal. It's just easier access to your knife. Your knife isn't going to fall out of here, I can almost guarantee that. Now move on down here. You can see right here is the Gerber logo and the Bear Grylls signature, which I thought was a pretty cool thing to have on the knife. The sheath is also a nice looking sheath, which is kind of nice when you're buying something. You want it to be well presented. Now if you undo this strap right here where the signature was, and take this plastic here and move it down, and right here you can see there is a diamond sharpener. You can use that to sharpen any kind of knife you had, or any other tool, axe, whatever, hatchet. You can sharpen it on that, so that is another useful thing to have on this knife. Close that back up. One of your biggest things in survival, which is a rare thing to be able to do, is to maintain your equipment, which I do like how they implemented that in there as well. Move on down here is your ferrocerium. I think that's how you pronounce it, something like that. Yeah, I think. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But this is your fire starter. You can see a couple spots where I've done it, but I don't want to do it too much because the replacements for these are reasonably expensive. They're like 12 bucks. Awful lot for a little fire starter. But when you put it in, locks in there. You hear it snap. When it goes in there, it's waterproof on the inside of that, so you don't need to worry about that getting wet and needing to dry it out, which is another nice thing. On the back here, you can see your belt loop right there, and then you can see your other loop for if you wanted to have your sheath around your leg, which I'm not a big fan of. I prefer your belt. It gives you a little more freedom, easier access to your knife. Right here on the back in survival orange is a guide that Bear's put on the back of the knife, and what it says here is it shows you different signals. This one's yes, this one's no, this one's need mechanical help, this one is have radio, need medical help, just a bunch of those. But what you can do with this, I'm not going to, I don't feel like doing it. You can fold that and you can get underneath that. And there's a pocket guide that comes with this knife, and that's what that's for, is you can put your pocket guide in behind that. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to ruin my pocket guide, which I've seen on a couple of other reviews that it does ruin your pocket guide. Right here is your tag, says made in China. Some people don't like Chinese made knives. I'd say this one's pretty good. It's an exception, I would say. The total weight of the blade and sheath is, if I remember correctly, 14.7 ounces, and the total weight of the blade alone is 11.2 ounces. So it's pretty good weight for the knife, I would say. Anyways, now we'll move on to the knife. The knife is 4.8 inch stainless steel, carbon I think it's high carbon stainless steel, I'm pretty sure. 1/2 inch thick. You can see it on the top right here. It's a really thick blade, which is really good. 1/2 inch thick drop point with half serrated and half just blade, which isn't bad. Right here you can see Bear Grylls signature also, and right here you can see the Gerber logo. I don't like where the serrations are on the knife, because most people are right-handed. There are those odd lefties out there, but you hold the knife in your right hand, your serrations are the opposite way. They're upside down, which I do find is a flaw with the knife. The knife did come sharp. I sharpened it a little more in my oil stone. Perfection is the way to go. I've cut myself with it already. Something to do. But I would say that the blade is good. I don't like the serrations, I will say that. There's such fine serrations that batoning with the blade, I feel, dulls up your serrations. And they're going to be a hard thing to sharpen if you're out in the woods. You could maybe use that diamond sharpener, but it would still be a challenge. Anyways, moving down to the handle, you can see the BG, Bear Grylls. It actually says Bear Grylls inside of that BG. The handle of the knife is a full tang handle. The steel pommel at the end. The pommel used to be a problem with the knife. It was quite a few knives that it broke off of. But Gerber was pretty quick to leap onto that problem, and they fixed that. Now you don't have to worry about your pommel breaking. Right here you can see these two holes right there. These two holes here are for you can put paracord or rope or anything through there and wrap your knife around a stick, make a spear, is what that's for. You can look on back here, and there is little jimping on the back, but it's not really, it's comfortable jimping, I will say that, but where it's plastic, it's still kind of slippery, but it's good enough. I like it better than steel jimping anyway. Right here you can see this little notch. That's for your fire starter. You put it on that little notch and you just scrape it across there, so that way you're not doing it on your blade. And because it's rougher on that than it is on your blade is more flat, and that's rough, so it'll start quicker. The handle is extremely grippy. I like that. I haven't dropped this knife, and I don't expect I will, just considering how much grip is on the handle. You can see Survival Orange on there, which is really reasonable and well thought out color. Right here you can see you have your finger hole right there. There's only one for your index, for your pointer finger. I do like that. It's comfortable to hold, which is really nice. If you're using a knife, you do want the knife to be comfortable to hold. Down the end here you can see you have your survival whistle, which I assure you does work. But the knife overall is about $62. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, $62. Now there's another knife. I'm not quite sure. It's by Gerber. It is the TF2, I do believe it is, infantry knife. If you look at that knife, you will see extreme similarities. Really, the only difference between this knife and that infantry knife, both of them are by Gerber, by the way, is if you look down here, instead of a pommel, it has sort of a sharp edge, and it even has the two holes for making it into a spear. The only difference really is the color and the blade, and it doesn't have that, and it doesn't have a pommel. It has a little pointy edge. I'm pretty sure it's the TF2 infantry knife is what it is, by Gerber also. But anyways, I would recommend this knife highly as a survival knife. It's a strong, sturdy knife, and it's really heavy. It's got a nice, reliable feel to the knife. Like, just holding it, you can tell that it's a nice, solid knife. But anyways, this is Bodu21 here, just giving you guys another knife review, and I'll be getting some rabbit hunting videos out probably within the next week. I'll be doing some snaring and maybe some shooting. Anyways, you guys, Bodu21 out. Peace.